Charlamange. I saw this Breakfast Club interview today with Charlamange, DJEnvy, some blonde-haired black woman, and some upcoming politician that's allegedly running for president, some so-called black man. And I wanted to give my take on it since I viewed the entire interview, and it was hard to watch. It was hard to stomach the perspectives of DJEnvy, the blonde-haired black woman, and Charlamange. I have a few references in the Bible to highlight the spirit of DJEnvy and the blonde-haired black woman and Charlamange. I know that all my viewers are not applying the Bibles to their lives, so I don't try to project the Bible on all people, especially not all so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians either. Whatever blood that is on the hands of the problems, the people that are part of the problems, the blood is on their hands. I refuse to identify with the black culture, the black people, the individuals who do what I saw today on the Breakfast Club. Me personally, I despise black people because they are their own problem. The problem is not white supremacy, white survivalism, white rulership. This is my take on what I inferred from this ongoing issue with so-called black people. First off, this guy who's running for president, or this politician that was on Breakfast Club, he started off by addressing or bringing up the problem, the unresolved problem with the so-called black family, the black household, not having fathers in the households. The argument, or the defense argument from Charlamange and Envy and this black woman with blonde hair on the show that I noticed, and from me spectating, I saw this argument in defense of single black mothers, okay? The single black mother is a protected group, protected from examination, protected from criticism, protected from solutions. So every time there's a panel where the subject and the topic is the household, the black family household, what I constantly notice is that when this subject is brought to the table, there's this constant, ongoing, common denominator reaction, response that I notice comes from who I despise as blacks. This is one of the main reasons why I grew up wondering, why do I despise black people and black culture? One of the reasons is there's this defense for the problem whenever the solution is brought up. First of all, the problem with the so-called black community, because there is no black community, it's just a ghetto or a hood. The problem with this topic is that there are no fathers in the households. This guy, Larry, on the Breakfast Club, he brought up the fatherless households. Me personally, I noticed that when the topic is brought up about these single mothers and their households, there's this argument. We can't even agree on whether single mother households is a problem. We can't even agree on that. So-called blacks can't even agree on what the problem is. So there's this reaction that constantly shows up where a group of women and there's a group of men who protect this subject. We don't agree whether there is a problem or not. We don't agree that single motherhood is a problem or not. Okay? That's what I'm starting to notice, especially with the women and the men. I don't know if they all were raised by their mothers, so this particular group protects the motherhood, the single motherhood, because they were raised by their mothers. I was raised with both my parents, so I don't take sides with single women. I take sides with family. I vote for family. I don't vote for single motherhood. I don't vote for single, this lifestyle of being single. It doesn't have my vote, okay? This interview was hard to watch. And the hard part about watching this interview was Charlamange, Envy, and this black blonde-haired woman was reinforcing this confusion. There's a level of confusion that is brought up, or there's this reaction or response. There's this level of confusion when this subject is brought to the table. And I believe the confusion comes from these individuals who either were raised by their mothers only, or who has a serious blind spot when it comes to this topic. Women, when this topic gets brought up, they won't shut up and they get triggered. And what I mean by won't shut up is DJEnvy and Charlamange didn't tell this black woman with blonde hair to be quiet, shut her mouth. They let her pretty much, I don't know if she was a moderator or if she was playing prosecutor, this cross-examining type of technique that she was applying and Charlamagne was applying, and Envy was sitting back. Envy was sitting back the most, but this black woman with blonde hair constantly overtalked this brother Larry. I don't know who he is. Never seen him before. He said he was running for president. Envy and Charlamagne and this black woman were pretty much attacking this man's subject. At times, they were attacking his preference. Like whatever he tried to say, they wouldn't let him finish talking a lot of times. And then, Charlamagne confused the show. The black woman confused the show. Envy confused the show because Larry came in there with a subject, and the only subject that he was talking about was the nuclear black family is 70. I think he said 70%, 70%, 71% without fathers, and the track record of these children without proper households is either criminal or death. Gangbangers, criminals. Okay, every so-called black neighborhood is full of these types of situations. This interview was tough to watch, but it exposed this group of so-called blacks who are part of the problem and who are the problem. That's why I despise blacks, because the black woman with the blonde hair, she blamed the system. She blamed the system. What I noticed today in 2023, and since I've been on this planet, since I was able to pay attention to so-called blacks and my surroundings around the age of 4 or 5, I've seen this same problem with so-called blacks. I applaud so-called whites and every other race for sticking together, gathering resources, and gaining some type of unified control over whatever resources they seem to need for themselves. The problem that I have with so-called blacks is that the idea of coming together as one, as blacks, is considered racist to blacks. The way the country is in the control of the Americans, blacks will never be able to pull that off with each other, because there's a group of blacks who oppose unity. The only time blacks agree is if someone is trying to help them, not them helping themselves, because criticizing blacks and telling them to help themselves is a problem to blacks, not to nobody else but to blacks. I applaud every other race for coming together and sticking together. When other groups stick together, blacks consider it racist. Coming together to blacks, is considered racist unless you're trying to come together with other races of people. Empowering blacks and trying to get blacks to empower themselves by setting up their own system instead of blaming American systems as the enemy. The American system is not yours. How about that? And get your own system, you so-called blacks. Something that black people won't be able to do, because coming together, according to blacks, if you listen to them, they can't agree on what the problem is, and they definitely don't agree on the solution. There will be no coming together as for blacks. Not in 2023, not in 2025, not in 2035. There's a group of blacks who love American system, who love the agencies of America, who can't figure out how to thrive without the Western banking systems. They have a weakness. That's why every time someone like this Larry guy pops up and tries to unify all the blacks, you can forget it, because the black people don't want to come together unless they can come together under the American system that they constantly blame for the setbacks of themselves. How about that? The only time that I see, like I said, the only time I see so-called blacks ever coming together is if it's under the system of Americans or Edomites or whites, okay? Same system they complain about is the only system that they want to come together under. I'm not coming together with black people. Black people have a lot of unresolved issues within themselves, and they like to create their own reality and not deal with the reality that the world is in. Okay? Like I said, I applaud all other races. This guy, Larry, talked about us. And Charlamagne and this black woman and Envy hijacked his topic, and the rest of this show evolved around racism. I don't see racism itself affecting me. The only racism I see comes from so-called blacks. That's the racism that I see. Of course, there is this language that I'm speaking that I'm not, that's not the origin of my nationality. So if I was born in China, it doesn't make me Chinese. So I say that to say, if these educated black people took their knowledge and structured their own system, instead of trying to get something from American system, I think that's the part where this Larry guy was trying to edify Charlamagne and DJEnvy and this black woman with blonde hair. Tough show to watch. I couldn't watch. I watched it, but I really got triggered from this show because it points out the behavior of so-called blacks. Ice Cube experienced it when he delivered his contract. Okay, and I watched how Lisa Ray and Vivica Fox and a few other black women on that panel dissected and really shot down Ice Cube's contract, his proposal, stating that there wasn't a separate paragraph that addressed black women's separate problems, saying that black women have a special set of, a different set of needs aside from the black man. So we won't ever come together with these people. So I despise black people, and I'm a constantly, I'm a constantly disassociate my identity from black people. I'm not a part of black people or their culture. I don't do what they do. Okay, so what I do is I break down the so-called black perspective because it's the problem. Black people are their own problem. Racism is not the problem. Okay? Civil rights is over. Black people can be homosexuals. Black people can destroy each other if they want through the system. The same system that they complain about, they can destroy themselves with. Okay? I've experienced the problems with the integration with the system from the black woman's choices that she makes. So it was a tough show to watch, to see how these so-called blacks tear down these other men or black help that's striving to do something about the problems within this race. But we all can agree that there's a problem. Some say black women and as single mothers are not the problem. Some want traditional situations where the man and the woman are applying what they do and apply to the family and to the building and to the creation of a legacy and all of that. Single motherhood has a legacy now, and it's a protected legacy. Platforms like the Breakfast Club protect the black woman's single motherhood. Right now, black single motherhood bypasses the grooming of wives, and they go straight into having their own children. Your body, yes, but not your baby. So I don't agree with I agree with your body, your choice, but not your child, not your choice. The decision to kill a child with an abortion is decided without the consent of the men that impregnated the women. And all of these abortions are not due to complications or are not due to being raped and all of that kind of stuff. So we can just, well, I'm I'm done with black people. But I do still pay attention to them being their own problem. We can right now, we can as so-called blacks, we can start a business, create a infrastructure. All of these so-called intelligent blacks are misplacing their intelligence. What's good? Hold on, I'm on the phone right quick. I'm gonna come get with y'all when I get back over there. Hell yeah, King. So yeah, I'm totally done with identifying with this group of people. If white people can do it, if all these other races can do it, why can't y'all do it? Because y'all are the problem. Okay? The system exists and everybody else is thriving, but so-called blacks, and they're the problem. I watched this guy Larry only stay on the subject of us, and I watched how you so-called blacks, Charlamagne, the black woman with the hair, and Envy, I watched how y'all hijacked his topic, and I give y'all a thumbs down. Charlamagne, you're the donkey of the lifetime. Envy, you're the donkey of the lifetime, and that black woman, she's the donkey of the lifetime. Y'all are donkeys because the problem has a solution. And since blacks like y'all can't agree on the problem, and y'all seem like y'all being paid to protect the problem, because I watched how Envy, Charlamagne, and this black woman reinforced confusion. I left a comment too. Stop talking about white people. Stop talking about racism, because they're not your problem. The civil rights movement is over. Black people can do whatever they want to do. The civil rights movement is over. And y'all acting like y'all ancestors, the job is done. We got men running for president. Y'all, look, y'all got all these jobs. All these blacks got these jobs. And it seemed like y'all just getting paid to bring confusion. This is a tough show to watch, man. I couldn't watch this show without getting triggered. I got triggered. Larry got triggered. I forgot what triggered him. But I got triggered just by watching you so-called blacks, Charlamagne, Envy, and this disgraceful black woman cross-examining this brother as if he's a threat. He's a threat to the way some of you blacks was brought up with your mamas. My parents was married, so I don't like y'all blacks who protect this single motherhood and the problem. So look, you guys that are doing what Envy and them are doing, you guys are part of the problem. And I want to bring out the descendants of Envy, Charlamagne, and this black woman's, the forefathers. I want to bring out the forefathers and some of these stories of these forefathers who rather bring confusion to the solution and to the table when the problem is being addressed. Whatever the problem is, since there is no agreeing on what the problem is with this black community, whatever the problem is, death is going to be the end of this black problem. The majority of us are doing what Envy and Charlamagne and that black woman with that weave is doing. Y'all won't shut up. Y'all get triggered by the solution. Y'all get triggered when it's time to fix the problem. Single motherhood is the problem. And y'all defending the way y'all was brought up with y'all mamas is the problem. So let me just get into a few of this, man, because Charlamagne, Envy, and that black woman, y'all showed me that y'all are descendants of these forefathers and foremothers that did what y'all are doing today. I don't give a damn about y'all. I just don't like to see black people try to destroy the solution. It don't matter who it is, whether it's the Bible, whether it's Dr. Claude Anderson, whether it's who y'all ignorantly call Jesus. Because these same so-called blacks that be disagreeing with the solution be having that lowercase t across their chain. And y'all know that lowercase t. So y'all are some of the biggest fools within our race because y'all are part of the problem. Y'all got jobs and y'all think y'all are empowered because y'all got jobs. Y'all are some of the biggest nincompoops of the race. Charlamange, Envy, and whoever that black woman is with the blonde hair. Y'all are fools. Y'all are some of the biggest fools of our race. Just a sec. Okay. All right. Like I said, you blacks who do what Envy them is doing is part of the problem. It's okay for every other race to come together, and to have their own, except for blacks. So you get myself together here. Got too hot outside, so I had to come out here since this temperature, this phone temperature was getting too hot. What I do with my notes? Give me a second. My notes got cut off. It's at this park. The temperature got too hot for the phone, so I had to get back to somewhere where it's cool at. The best place is the crib. I got the AC on. I got some notes that I want to show the descendants that Charlamagne, Envy, and you so-called that so-called black woman with the blonde hair. Y'all are descendants of the forefathers and foremothers that were quick to disobey the prophets and those that were chosen to be a leader amongst our people. First thing Charlamagne asked was, what about everybody else? What about all the other races? Y'all always worried about the other races. And then Larry, he even told Charlamagne, I'm worried about us. Let's focus on us. And that's something that you descendants of the rebellious group of our people, y'all don't want to do. Yeah, just something that y'all don't want to do. Let's see if I can post up right here. See if I can post up right here. Post up right here. Finish up on this video. Let's see if I can keep my notes going. In 30 minutes, I gotta hurry up because I don't want this video to be this long. But it wound up getting phone wound up overheating, so I had to go ahead and figure this out. So listen, just want to finish this up because, like I said, this triggered me. I got triggered when I seen this, and the part that triggered me was that from amongst your own, you have a politician trying to rise up and do something. He didn't agree with reparations, and I don't agree with reparations neither. The so-called blacks don't need reparations. Get whatever you trying to get from the system for yourself. Y'all claim that blacks are African, then why don't y'all so-called blacks get what y'all don't get from over there? And he had another point. Larry had another point. He said, if y'all not going to get reparations from the Arabs for the Saharan slave trade, or you're not going to get reparations from the so-called Africans for what they did to you and your forefathers, then why y'all seeking reparations from the so-called whites? Okay, the Edomites don't need to give y'all nothing either. See, y'all don't want to do what y'all need to do for yourselves. Racism is not the problem. Y'all are the problem. Y'all trying to get everything that y'all need for yourselves from the system. And whites don't owe y'all that. Whites don't owe y'all so-called blacks nothing. Y'all owe yourselves the service of doing for yourselves. I think white America has given all they can give to you so-called blacks. It's y'all that are stuck in that mentality of constantly asking another people for something that y'all need to get for yourselves. See, I don't like y'all so-called blacks because y'all are the problem. Y'all are trying to ride off the backs of other races. Why don't y'all worry about yourselves? So y'all don't like when people say worry about yourselves and stop trying to get other people to help yourselves. There's enough of us to help ourselves. Okay? That's my problem with y'all. Y'all are the problem. Y'all are the problem. Y'all are super offended by doing for yourselves without their Western banking systems or the Western school systems or the Western system. Y'all can't thrive. Y'all don't know how to thrive without the system. It was so tough. It was like so tough to watch this educated black man talk to you fools, Envy, Black Woman, and Charlamange. Y'all are fools, man. I don't even watch y'all show because I don't like y'all. I don't like y'all kind. I don't like your kind of black. I don't like y'all. Right? So this is where y'all come from because y'all are part of the problem. And y'all are part of the group that has always been a problem to blacks. Y'all always been a part of that. Y'all are descendants of that. Okay? Y'all are descendants of those. And y'all are going to have children that are like that. They're going to be just like y'all. Okay? And y'all are going to always be trying to gain something from the whites. And the whites are tired of y'all. Y'all don't even know how to do for yourselves like they do. All right? Y'all are a problem. So I'm going to start off with this because y'all come from these people that have been habitual problems. All right? So this is Exodus. All right? Exodus 32. Okay? It's Exodus 32. Okay? We'll show y'all that y'all are Charlamange 32. And when Moses and when Salakia, this is Exodus 32 and 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down of the mount, the people gathered themselves together. Now, Moses is talking to the creator up on Mount Sinai. Aaron is down at the bottom with the people, with our forefathers. But there's a group of us that are doing to Moses what Charlamange envy and that black woman was doing to that man, Larry. Y'all are the descendants of these people, and y'all are part of the problem. Okay, we're on 35 minutes, going 36. Moses delayed to come down out of the mount. The people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, make us gods which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we want not what is become of him. They didn't want to follow Moses. And Moses was selected and sent to retrieve them from Egypt. They didn't want to follow him after he saved them from Egypt. Most of us don't need to be saved from this system. There's only a few of us that need to be saved from this system. Most of us want to integrate, like Envy, Charlamange, and that black woman with blonde hair. They're arguing for integration and whatever it is that they're asking Americans for. And they have a bunch of other secrets that they're a part of. Nevertheless, for as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we want not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives and your sons and of your daughters, and bring them to me. And all the people broke off the golden earrings which were in their ears and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, these be thy gods, O Israel. And brought them up out of the land of, which brought you up out of the land of Egypt. So they gave credit to this statue for bringing them out of the land of Egypt, when they saw with their own eyes that Moses brought them out of the land of Egypt. But they want to be idolaters. They want to worship idols. So this is what was sown in their hearts that couldn't be unsown. Okay? Envy, Charlamange, the black one with the blonde hair. Y'all listen up, because this is y'all descendants. Okay? These are y'all descendants, the ones that choose not to follow the solution, the ones who can't agree on what the problem is with so-called blacks. Okay? Because this show was tough to watch. How you, Charlamange, you, Envy, and you, black woman with blonde hair, reinforce the confusion. And y'all misplaced y'all intellect, especially that black woman. And Charlamange and Envy, shame on y'all for letting her talk to that black man like that. But look. 5. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, tomorrow is a feast to the Lord. And they rose up early in the morning and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. Okay? And the Lord said unto Moses, go get thee down. Okay? For thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. Okay? You Envy, you Charlamange, and that black woman, y'all are corrupt. Okay? Y'all are corrupt with integration and whatever form of fornication. You guys are the problem. And your glory is different from those of us that choose not to subscribe to the system. Okay? So while y'all got jobs and y'all thriving based on the banking systems, to see what's going to happen to y'all, because y'all are descendants of these people, just like we are, but y'all choose to do what they choose to do too, after seeing the works of the Most High for themselves. Okay? He built them tomorrow a feast to the Lord. They rose up early on the morning and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and to drink, and rose up to play. And the Lord said unto Moses, go get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. Not the system. System is not corrupting y'all. Y'all are corrupting yourselves. If you stay away from the so-called whites and their system, wouldn't be no division amongst us. But don't worry about it. Let's continue about y'all forefathers and what's going to happen to y'all, because y'all are doing the same things as these forefathers and foremothers. Watch this. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it, idolatry. And have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Envy, Charlamange, black woman, your God knows that you're stiff-necked. Okay? Now, therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them. Okay? The Creator is angry with you, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. Okay? Because the nation that the Scripture is referring to about us is a group of us that are going to obey Him, not a group of us that are going to act like you all just acted today on that damn show. Okay? Let me see. And Moses besought the Lord besought the Lord his God, and said, Lord, why doeth thy wrath wax hot against thy people? So Moses asking, like a lot of our people be asking questions, why? And he's going to explain to Moses why is he angry, why the Most High is angry at our people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand. Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, For mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth. Turn from thy fierce wrath and repent of this evil against thy people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and saith unto them, I will multiply your seed. So what Moses is doing is he's pleading to the Most High, that the Most High doesn't be angry, that he don't be angry, that he won't be angry with the group of our people that don't do what he say. If it wasn't for the prophets pleading for mercy on individuals like you all, it wouldn't be no grace. It wouldn't have been no chance to repent. Okay? The Most High turned his back on us for these reasons. These prophets would plead with the Creator to show mercy on us. Because if it wasn't for the prophets pleading for mercy, you people would have been wiped out. We would have been wiped out had it not been for prophets pleading with the Creator to show mercy on us. See, the prophets died, and y'all kept doing the things that he died for. The things that he died to get mercy on you all from the Creator. Y'all won't stop doing it. Y'all still doing the things that he died for mercy on you all to receive. So in order for y'all to receive mercy, he died for y'all to have mercy. And y'all are still doing the things that got y'all cut off from the Most High. Just like your forefathers are doing right here. Got you all out of Egypt, and what did y'all do? Y'all wanted to worship a golden calf. Seen the workings of the Most High which y'all own now. Saw the chariot leading you all with fire and with light.
He told me to go listen to Plan B. I'm about to, I didn't think the people was push me down the stairs. Hey, how you doing? Push me up down the stairs.
Okay. 13. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel by thy servants, to whom thou swear by thine own self, and saith unto them, I will multiply your seed of the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And the Lord repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people. So the Most High turned back his anger because Moses is pleading for y'all. And today y'all are still doing it. Okay? The so-called whites killed Jesus, and you so-called blacks are joined hand in hand with his system and can't live without his system. Okay? So, all right, now, it says, and Moses turned and went down from the mount, and the 2 tables of the testimony were in his hand, the laws. The tables were written on both their sides. On the one side and on the other were they written, and the tables were the work of God, and the writing of the writing, and the writing was the writing of God, graven upon the tables. Okay? And he said, it is not the voice of Salaki. And when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moses, there is a noise of war in the camp. And he said, it is not the voice of them that shout for mastery, neither is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome, but the noise of them that sing do I hear. Okay? Give me 1 second. Okay. 17. And when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moses, there is a noise of war in the camp. 19. And it came to pass, as soon as he came near unto the camp, that he saw the calf and the dancing, and Moses' anger waxed hot. Okay, so Moses at first pleaded for you niggas, and then your forefathers, which is our forefathers, decided to constantly parade and celebrate this calf because this was their new god. Okay, now Moses at first was pleading for mercy, but when he seen the people for himself, his anger waxed hot. Okay, so watch what Moses did. Waxed hot, and he cast the tables out of his hand and broke them beneath the mount. So Moses got mad, and that's why we see pictures of the 2 tablets with the 10 commandments, and one of them is broke, because he got mad and he threw them to the ground because he saw the people celebrating and holding up the calf, and they were in the spirit of fornication. Now, he wasn't having it. Okay, now Moses' anger waxed hot after he went through what he went through with the Most High to get us out of Egypt. Now our people want to do what Charlamange and DJEnvy and the black woman doing. Look what happened. He broke the tablets. 20. And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire, and ground it to powder and strawed it upon the water, and made the children of Israel drink of it. So he's trying to show them a lesson. All right, trying to teach them a lesson. And Moses said unto Aaron, what did this people unto thee, that thou hast brought so great a sin upon them? And Aaron said, let not the anger of my Lord wax hot. Thou knowest the people. Okay, because Moses is Aaron's authority. So he said, let not the anger of my Lord wax hot. Thou knowest the people that they are set on mischief. Okay, so Aaron, he's telling Moses, these people are, their minds, the hearts of them is set on mischief. Coming out of Genesis, when Adam and Eve messed up with the serpent, fraternizing with his philosophies, and they got cut off from the Most High. We got cut off, okay, because people like Envy and them are still amongst us doing business with the serpent, and they can't live without the system that they claim is racist. They can't live without it. Interesting how coming together as so-called blacks is labeled racist by blacks, and the system that they won't shut up about is racist too. Okay, they just can't live without this system. Okay, this American system. Okay, they don't want to establish their own system either, and that's exactly the kind of attitude that our forefathers and foremothers had in this chapter that I'm reading. So let's continue. Okay, and Aaron said, okay, now here we go. Okay, so they are set on mischief. For they said unto me, make us gods which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us out of the land of Egypt, we want not what is become of him. 24. And I said unto them, whosoever hath any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it to me. Then I cast it into the fire, and there came out this calf. Okay. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, talking about naked without knowledge, okay, they were going off, see. For Aaron had made them naked unto their shame amongst their enemies. Then Moses in the gate of the camp, then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on the Lord's side? Okay, he's standing out in front of them and he's talking to everybody. He said, which out of y'all are on the Lord's side? Okay, and he's making them choose sides. The same way that I despise you so-called blacks. I'm choosing sides, and I'm not on y'all's side. Okay, I'm on the Lord's side, not y'all's. Okay. Now, here it goes. And Moses stood in the gates of the camp and said, who is on the Lord's side? Let him come unto me. Whoever's on the Lord's side, come on my side. And all the sons of Levi, talking about the Haitians, the so-called Haitians, gathered themselves together unto him. And he said unto them, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from the gate and gate. Go in and out from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. Okay? He ordered the Levites to put you people to death, since you choose fornication, since you choose idolatry, since you choose the system of man. Envy, Charlamange, and that black blonde-haired woman. Y'all are a part of the problem. It's not racism. It's y'all. Civil rights is over. Y'all can do anything y'all want to do today, and y'all can even worship y'all God today. But you Negroes decide to reinforce confusion. I despise you niggas. I really despise you niggas. DJEnvy, you are the donkey of the lifetime. That black woman, you're the donkey of the lifetime. Envy, you're the donkey of the lifetime, because y'all already chose y'all sides. Y'all choose the system. The same system that y'all accuse is racist. Okay, just like single motherhood uses single motherhood as an excuse when they're trying to get out of trouble. All of a sudden, the problem becomes the excuse. Okay, for you Negroes. You Negroes. All right, I despise you niggas, man. All right, now, okay, he told him to slay your type of people, of our race. You Negroes are the problem. Y'all are the problem. Y'all have always been the problem. Y'all don't choose the Most High. Y'all don't choose your own people, and y'all don't choose to establish your own system. It's y'all. Y'all are the problem, man. It's only a small group of us that really concentrate on doing what the Lord says and applying what he says to our day in, day out. Okay? I despise you niggas. Watching that show today triggered me because I'm sick and tired of you Negroes always downplaying the solution. Since y'all got y'all panties all up in y'all parts, y'all don't know how to even think like men. Y'all let this woman talk crazy to this man. So I know y'all all getting paid to keep the confusion going because the rest of the show was based on what y'all was talking about, not based on what he was talking about. Y'all are part of the problem. All right? Y'all are the problem. Okay? See, I don't say guns kill people. I say people kill people. Y'all are the problem, not the environment. Not this stuff up here. This ain't doing nothing to me. I come outside, I ain't worried about no damn white people. I worry about y'all. Alright? The black woman, the single black woman is a threat, and you Negroes are the threat. Y'all are the threat. I seen it for myself finally today, and I really don't like y'all. I don't like y'all. Alright? I do not like y'all. Ain't no coming back from that. There's nothing that y'all can do to recover from that. Because y'all are in a sunken place. Y'all are reinforcing this confusion and y'all misplacing y'all intellect. Y'all are some stupid individuals. And the system loves Negroes like y'all. Okay? So, it was tough to watch this show. Alright? Now, I got another example. I got two more. Let me see. I got one more. No, I got two more examples. I got two more examples of your type of forefathers that chose to disobey the Most High when he was re-establishing his connection with our people. For you type of Negroes, y'all not going to have it. Y'all connection is not going to ever be re-established with the Most High because y'all are choosing confusion over the solution. Okay, so here goes another one. Numbers 21 and 6. Okay. Numbers 21 and 6. Numbers 21 and 6. And like I said, all of us are not applying this. All of us are not into the Bible. A lot of 21. 16, 18. 21 and 6. Okay. This is another example of, envy, Charlamange, black woman with blonde hair. Another example of y'all forefathers in the Bible, separate from a small group of your people, which I'm a part of, that are going to do what the Most High is telling us to do, and how your people, you have a history. You come from these people. Envy, Charlamange, and the black people. Y'all come from these people that don't do what God says. So let me continue. 21 and 6. And the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died. Okay? Now, here we go. Let me go up to 4 to give the context. Coming out of Egypt, all right? And they're in the wilderness with Moses. And our people are speaking against and murmuring and whispering and saying things against Moses again, because they don't want to follow Moses. And the people spoke against God and against Moses. Wherefore have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? So they're questioning Moses. What are we doing? Where are we going? We're just out here in the wilderness. They're questioning being taken out of Egypt. For there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loatheth this light bread. So they hate that they're not eating large portions of food like they were in Egypt, all right? They want to go back to slavery, okay? So look. And the Lord sent fiery serpents amongst the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died, which is all praises that these people died for speaking against the Most High and speaking against Moses. 7, therefore the people came to Moses and said, we have sinned. Okay, yeah. I felt those serpents, y'all sinned. For we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord. See, our people want Moses to pray for them. Always this group of blacks like Charlamange, Envy, and that black woman who want the system, the same system they don't like, they want the system to help them. Black folks don't like nobody if you ain't helping them. They don't even want you coming around correcting and explaining to them where they're wrong at. Accountability. They don't even want to do this. The women won't shut up when they start bringing these topics. If they get triggered, they won't shut up. They start disrespecting the conversation and talking over the men. They won't shut up. You almost got to hit them over the head with something hard when they start glitching out and buffering and shit, right? Despise you Negroes, all right? We have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord that he take away the serpents from us. See, if you Negroes had to pray for yourselves, y'all won't do it because y'all think nobody's perfect, nobody can keep the laws. But y'all rather turn to the system that y'all claim is racist. Y'all want them to do everything for y'all. If ain't nobody trying to do nothing for y'all, then y'all don't like them. That's why I don't like. That's another reason why I despise black, because they don't want to help themselves. They want somebody else to do it for them. They want Jesus to die for them. They want Moses to pray for them. Y'all don't want to do nothing. Y'all don't even want to do the works that it takes to be saved. Look. And Moses prayed for the people, and the Lord said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole, and it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. Okay? Ambulance got that, the lotus with the serpent going around the staff. This is where they get it from. We're going to move on, because I'm going to get back to your forefathers, Envy and Charlamange, and, excuse me, you black women with the weave, with the white, you black women, you so-called black women with the blonde hair, okay? I got to hurry up because I'm going over my time. I got one more example, okay? The guy Larry, his point and his conversation got hijacked by the confusion of Envy, Charlamagne, and that black woman. The rest of the show continued as long as they were talking about what Charlamagne wanted to talk about, and what Envy was talking about, and what the black woman was talking about. She was like a dog on a leash, and Charlamagne was shutting her up. So she was like, I don't know, like I said, I don't know what her purpose was, but I think her purpose, from what I saw and what I inferred, her purpose was to confuse and to be like a bulldog and to help hijack the conversation and to shoot his conversation down. Whatever he was talking about in the beginning, where he's talking about the black nuclear family not having fathers in it, they never came back to that subject. Thanks to Charlamagne, the descendants of our people in the wilderness who didn't want to follow God. You descendants of these forefathers and foremothers who didn't want to do what the Most High said, y'all are the problem. As long as the show didn't talk about what the guy Larry initially brought up, the nuclear family household not having fathers in it, the show continued to talk about politics. They started talking about the system. Forget that. You Negroes are a problem. Okay? Now, my last example, and I'm out of here, is Deuteronomy 17 and 15. All right? Deuteronomy 17 and 15. And I'm going to leave the 17 and 15. I'm going to leave a link in the description to this 17 and 15, this stupid interview. Voting for America is a sin. It's Deuteronomy 17 and 15. I'm going to start at I'm going to do 15. Thou shalt in any wise set. No, let me start at 13. Get the context. And all the people that hear, all the people shall hear and fear and do no more presumptuously. When thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me. So the Most High is telling our people, when y'all get to the land that I give y'all, and y'all start to decide who's going to be king, this is who you choose to be king. He says, thou shalt in any wise set him, when thou art come, 14, when thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shalt possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me, like as all the other nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. See, you Negroes, Envy and Charlamange and all that, and the black woman, y'all like to vote for people that the Most High didn't choose to be y'all king. Y'all are voting in the same system that y'all claim is racist. That's why I say y'all are the biggest fools and the biggest problem of our people. Okay? Y'all voting in a system that's not ours. Y'all voting for a system that y'all won't shut up about being racist. Y'all wouldn't even let the man talk about the nuclear black family household without hijacking his conversation with y'all stupid rhetoric and babble and y'all misplaced intellect. Y'all are stupid. Okay? Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose, one from among thy brethren, one from among yourselves, shalt thou set king over you. Thou mayest not set a stranger over you, which is not thy brother. Okay, so that's all I got. I've been trying to get this out today because what I saw today, y'all are the donkeys of the life of this lifetime. I despise you blacks. And this is not even for all of y'all. This is just where I get my wisdom from. This is how I discern the truth. The Bible taught me more than my parents. And it showed me that you fools, you 2/3. Okay, you House of Sauls. I can't wait till we do like Moses do and pull our swords out like the Levites and put y'all to death and whoever's standing with y'all for playing y'all part in the breakdown and the dysfunction of our people. Every time we try to address this problem, here come you idiots, you black idiots who keep us from really coming together and getting the solution resolved. Getting the solution of the problem resolved so we can establish ourselves as a nation. But I know God has a higher plan, and it's for me to increase my fortune, okay, using the light, the law. But sitting back and watching this, it was tough. When you get a chance, whoever's watching this, go check out the Breakfast Club interview with this Larry guy. I'm going to get his last name and I'm going to post it on this video. I'm just calling him Larry because I know his name is Larry. First name is Larry from what I've seen in the video. But I'm gonna get his last name and I'm gonna leave it on the video. I'm gonna go and edit this out. I've been on for about 70 minutes now, and I despise you niggas. Shalom.